Broadcasting from Northwest Pennsylvania. You're listening to the Gen Extra Podcast, a show about Generation X, movies, technology, weird news, and anything else they feel like. Join them every Monday morning. Now, here's your hosts, Dave and Joe.
All right, welcome back to the Gen Extra Podcast, everybody. If you are new to the show, thanks for checking us out. If you're a longtime listener, welcome back. How's it going, boys?
It's going well.
It's going well. Yes, you guys were there. Good. Okay.
Oh, yes. Yes. No, I didn't want to talk over anyone. So I was like,
no. Well,
and yet we did.
And we did it anyways.
And
yeah. All right. Well, yeah, this is episode 221. My God, that's a lot of shows.
Tell me about it.
Yeah,
I'm still trying to catch up from season 1.
I know. Yeah, what do you want now? Like season 1, episode like 13, 14?
I think I'm up to 15 or 16.
Okay.
But I mean, I did all the bonus content too, which were like...
Yeah, there was some bonus ones.
So.
Yeah, you only got like 200 more to go to catch up.
Oh yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, you'll get there.
It's been a ride.
Yeah, I'm actually happy that you're going back and listening to all the old shows because like I feel like they were like cringy because we were so new at it. But you said some of them were pretty good, and I believe you.
Oh, dude, I laughed to tears on some of the stuff you guys said. And I especially like just randomly texting you or calling you,
right?
Like, what the hell?
Yeah, we had a lot of good subject matter back then. It was fun. All right, so for this show, I want to talk about the Outer Banks Police. Yeah, and Debo does math. We have another one of those segments. Couple different. Oh, me too. Yeah, dude. I saw this online, so I had to make sure it was correct.
Did we start that with the coffee one? I think
so. I've done other math things
from Silo. That was started the whole Dave does math trope. But anyway, sorry. Go on. I interrupt.
Yeah. Oh no. So I've definitely done more mathy things over the past several years. But yeah, the coffee one was like the big one for me. Yeah, you're right. I had to figure it out. I had to have Chat GPT help me on this one because this was, more math than I was willing to do. But yeah, there's a few stories here towards the end. If we have time, we'll play a little game. But if not, we'll save it for next week. So and we'll also do national days. So, but anyway, yeah, the OBX police. Hang on, I gotta take a drink real quick. Talk amongst yourselves.
Talk amongst ourselves. OBX police. How is the weather in California, Steve? Is it like perfect and sunny there all the time, or do you actually like have some odd weather going on out there?
It is not perfect and sunny all the time, but most days are pretty fantastic. I think right now it's probably hovering around 80 degrees and the sunshine is out, which is a little too warm for me. People often, I'm sorry, it's 70 degrees and sunny, so it's actually quite nice right now.
It's not very humid there, is it? Or is it?
It is not humid at all because I technically live in the desert. So it's very dry and very quiet.
Must be nice. One thing that sucks about, this neck of the woods is when it's 80 out, it's usually like 97% humidity and it just feels awful.
I've got 2 dehumidifiers running in my basement right now just to prevent mold from growing on the damn walls. It is definitely a problem.
Yeah, we got a lot of rain in the spring too. It's been bad.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we've had, I think, 2 or 3 thunderstorms in Greater Cleveland over the past, week. They've been bad. Like, I'm actually lucky we're not in a low-lying zone. We don't risk flooding, but some of the parts of this area do. And it's a bit dangerous, not going to lie.
It's all relative because people that have grown up in California often tell me, like, oh, yeah, I went out to the East Coast and it was so green and then they're fascinated by thunderstorms and said, well, you have never had to dig your car out of ice
6 feet of snow.
That is true.
And then see your life flash before your eyes as a semi skids in front of you on black ice, things like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they definitely don't have the same perspective as we do. And they often think that I'm on drugs because I am, which I'm not, but I am always running warm. And I tell them it's because I grew up, in like sub-zero temperatures. So you just kind of acclimated to that. And now I live in the desert. So there you go.
Yeah, I'm always just so hot. Dude, I'm not a big fan of the heat. Like if I'm at a wedding and it's 85 degrees out and humid, dude, I'm drenched in sweat. And people are always like, hey, you know water? And it's like almost embarrassing at times. Like, yes, I know I'm sweating. Like, you don't have to offer me water every time you see me.
So wringing out your shirt and drink that.
God. Ugh.
You
Oh,
almost
my
need
God.
like a Mr. Freeze suit, you know, like perpetually cools you or something, like an air cooled wedding suit.
That'd be great, dude.
What's wrong with the photographer? Man, he's always hot.
Yeah, he's just warm, man.
Oh man, that jacket, that made me think of that jacket from Back to the Future 2, where it was self-drying, but it was like a built-in fan, right?
Oh, I need that.
Yeah.
That would be great. Anyway,
That's a good. Oh, I love Back to the Future 2 is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Of the trilogy.
due to time constraints.
Yeah, let's not. We'll save that for another episode.
Okay, sorry.
All right. So the OBX police. Let me jump into that. So
what are they doing?
We talked a couple weeks ago about our trip down to the Outer Banks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And as we were leaving the area, if you've ever been down there, like Outer Banks is its own separate little extension off of the mainland. Basically, it looks like just a long island, and it's got a bridge at the very bottom, sort of. So there's not really like a lot of options on how to get out of there when it's time to go home.
Okay.
Or you can go like really, really far north, like miles and miles and miles. So this is really the best way to get out of that area. And so we were leaving it, and my wife and I saw like 3 cops, like right in a row as we were leaving. And we had messaged somebody that was in our group. I'm not going to say who it was because they asked me not to. But we texted and we got a response that said, because we said, watch out for cops. They're everywhere. And they said, too late.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So they already had gotten pulled over. And my gripe is like that, because of the way the area is set up and because of how you have to enter and exit the Outer Banks, this is just it's a funnel of tourists leaving. Like that's what the main portion of the people I would assume that are going there are just tourists.
Yeah.
I know there's probably people that work over there, and some people that live there maybe throughout the year. But I gotta guess that it's at least like 70% people, just on vacation.
That's a reasonable guess.
So through this little bottleneck of where people have to drive out of there, they're just lining the streets with police cars, pulling people over and giving them speeding tickets.
That's speed traps.
It is, but like it's just so like, do you not want them to come back? Is that what you're doing? It's like, because you're gonna like set a tone for people. Like, I'm never going back there again. Like I was literally like, we packed up and left vacation, had a great time, and I was out of the town for about 8 seconds and got pulled over.
Bit predatory, really.
It is.
It doesn't. It's for lack of a better term, it's a dick move.
It really is.
It's just a dick move.
Yeah, I think it was like 52 and a 45. Like, it wasn't even that bad.
Well, I have to wonder too, is this one of those areas, when I say speed trap, I mean like where it starts out with one speed limit that's like kind of higher, and then it just randomly goes like lower by 20 miles per hour.
It might have. I don't. It probably
because
did,
maybe
honestly.
there's a school within range or something. Yeah, so that's where they get you, right? Because everybody's like, "Oh, okay, cool, 55 or 65," and then all of a sudden it's like, "No, it's 45," and then the cops are sitting right there.
Yeah, it might have been. Oh, it was a little bit worse. It was like, I think it was over 15 miles over the speed limit. It still isn't like horrendous, but it's not great. But they have to go back. Like, you can't just settle this ticket like online, or you can't just send them a check. Like, you have to appear. They have to appear in court. Yes, they got to go back down.
No.
Or they have to get a lawyer, or they have to hire a lawyer, like to help. Yeah, I'm serious. This is what has happened. Like, those were the options. No. Come back and be in court, or hire a lawyer and try and get this resolved.
Okay. So that's total hot garbage. I think, without a doubt. It's kind of funny. I want to bring this up because I literally watched this movie just recently. My oldest turned me on to it, but there's a scene that kind of pokes fun at that kind of mentality a little bit. But basically, this movie is called Interstate 60. It's from 2002, so it's 23 years ago. Oh my gosh, why is that so? Yeah, it's from
wasn't 2000. Wasn't that like 5-6 years ago? 2002.
I know, right? But it's got James Marsden, Gary Oldman, Christopher Lloyd. Like, it's got a lot of, and plus some cool guest cameos in there.
Nice.
It is a really weird. It's like a weird comedy. I'd highly recommend it. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to spoil too much of it, but there is basically part of the movie that is this town that is basically founded around trapping people there. And you can't leave. You get pulled over, but then you need a lawyer, and it's like all this big like pyramid scheme of like everything is going to build upon itself and trap you.
Huh.
And you're just, yeah, it's like, so what you're describing kind of sounds like what this movie is parodying. Anyway, Interstate 60, give it a watch. Highly recommended. That's all I'm going to say, because the less you know about this, the better. Just go in with an open mind and enjoy the ride.
Yeah,
I will do that.
That sounds interesting.
By the way, did you say 15 miles an hour?
They were 15 miles an hour over the speed limit. Yeah.
But that's what he got busted for, was 15 miles over.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. Because out here in California, the speed limit says 65, but no one goes 65. In fact, I've set my cruise control like 85, and I'm still going with the flow of traffic, and I've been passed by cops. Not chasing anyone.
Right.
Just, they were,
Just on their way somewhere.
That's just the flow of traffic out here. In fact, people get pissed off at you if you do go the speed limit. So I highly recommend that you just go with the flow of traffic. That's the...
Oh, dude, if you do the speed limit on the highway, like that's more dangerous than if you just go with the flow, man. Like you have to,
especially out here though.
Yeah, I mean, I've never driven on California highways, but most highways are, kind of like that too. Just you can't be the guy that decides like, I don't want to break the law. I'm not going to go over 65. Where everybody's ripping around you, like pumping their brakes, trying not to smash in the ass end of you. Yeah, it's dangerous.
Mm-hmm. It can be. It can be for sure.
Yeah. Speaking of highway driving, Breeze, you have a story on here called "Assholes on the Highway." What is this?
Yes. So I encourage you to check the link on the board, because it actually kind of requires a bit of visual. But so I'll summarize as much as I can. Oh my gosh, they locked the post.
They locked the post? Oh no, do you remember what you remember most of it?
I can describe this visually, vividly. Okay. So I couldn't find the actual news article on it, but somebody recorded this down the highway, either on a dash cam or a passenger had it, basically. So it's an SUV. Mm-hmm. You got to picture it, standard SUV, maybe larger, like a little bit bigger than a CRV, and it's towing a sedan. It's hauling a sedan, but it's basically like on a chain or a rope. Like it's not like towing it up on a trailer.
Right.
Okay, so remove that from your mind. This thing is dangling from a freaking rope.
Oh my God, okay.
Backwards. Uh-huh. There is a driver in the towed vehicle.
Oh my God.
Who is basically steering this thing in a way that this thing is swerving back and forth as they're going down the highway. And this mother clucker is just swerving and braking, and it is just tailing all over the place down the highway. I am trying to keep it clean for the show, but this was, and it's not like an empty highway. There was a good amount of traffic on this thing. Obviously, everyone's giving this thing a wide berth, but it was the single stupidest thing I have ever seen happen on the internet, on the road, in this context. It was absolutely flabbergasting. It's the most, you talk about that, it's just the dumbest thing. Now that's what you should be pulled over for. Actually, they were. I think they were actually.
I would hope so.
I think they actually got charged with attempted manslaughter or something like that, or not attempted.
Maybe reckless driving.
It was reckless, but it was a severe. It was like a felony level.
No, reckless endangerment. Maybe.
Yeah, reckless endangerment. That was it. Reckless endangerment. But yeah, it was. Oh God, it was so brutal. It was so bad. And I realized it's really not great podcast material because you can't see it. But wowzer, was it really rough?
Yeah, dude. That's. I'm glad no one got killed. Because that definitely sounds like it'd be a horrible, horrible accident.
Yeah, it was just dumb as hell. I can't believe, honestly, just can't believe someone was doing that. It's just so reckless.
We should have a new segment. Oh, I'm saying we should just make a brand new segment just called "Stupid People."
Stupid. Well, that way we'd never end the show. We'd never get it down below an hour.
That's true. What were you saying, Steve?
I've seen this article twice. Not really article, but just reel, is that what they call it on Facebook twice now, where I thought this is where you're going with it, actually, because it was an SUV and this guy brake checks the car behind him on the highway, and they're in the leftmost lane, so presumably the quote fast lane,
right?
So the guy that was riding behind him was probably riding him because, the van was going slow or whatever. The SUV was going too slow for his taste. So anyway, he brake checks the guy. And then you see the car behind him. And this is caught on somebody's like trunk cam or rear dash cam, or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, the car behind him goes up and goes out on the shoulder, pulls up right alongside. And it looks like they're going maybe they're not like going like 70 or anything like that, but at least 40, maybe 45, right? So he pulls up alongside him and then actually swerves back in and fishtails him, or, basically puts him to a spin, the SUV into a spin. And the SUV, and this is the common thing, to recover from the spin, it basically like gets traction, right? And then it just launches towards the side. Right?
Yeah.
It's like lawn darts right into the barrier. And so that's exactly what happened. It got traction when it came out of the spin and just launched right into the barrier on the side.
Oh, God.
And smashed up the hood and everything. And then the guy that spun him out, you just see him get right back in the lane and just
keeps going.
There's freeway. Like nothing ever happened. Yep. I was like, wow. But then I asked myself, I'm like, well, who's the bigger asshole there? And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure the guy that spun, I mean, he could have killed someone, right?
Yeah.
So he's definitely, he wins the asshole award. But like the guy that brake checked him, it's like, well, maybe you should have done that. But anyway.
Yeah, brake checking's dangerous.
It is, absolutely. I was gonna say I don't tend not to do that.
No, I don't condone that.
I will do the opposite though. I'm gonna admit to this and then we can move on. But I will admit, if there's somebody who's riding my tail, I'm gonna maintain a safe speed limit, right? Or above it, right? Like I go with traffic. But there are some people that even when you're going with traffic, they're right up your tailpipe. I love when they try to pass me on the right, but they've really got nowhere to go. They've got barely anywhere to go anyway, because there's traffic in that lane too. Yeah. And I will absolutely speed up and box them in.
Yeah.
So that they can't get past me. And it's like, what are we going to do? Like, you're not going to pass me on the right lane. That lane's slower. That's how this works.
Yeah. On a regular 2-lane road, when someone's doing that to me, dude, when I was younger, I used to get pissed, and I would start speeding up because I was mad. And when I got a little bit older, I was like, no, I'm not going to put myself in danger.
Exactly.
So I started doing the opposite. Like if I'm doing like 50, 55 in like a 50 mile an hour zone, and they're on my ass, I slow down to about 35. And I just watch the chaos ensue behind me in the rearview mirror. I just see arms up in the air. I can see him like yelling, and I'm just laughing, having the best time.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Safety first.
Like my gut hurts from laughing so much when I see him going bananas behind me.
Hey, one more honorable mention about movies about road rage. I recently watched the movie Unhinged with Russell Crowe.
That looked pretty good.
Very, very good. Yeah, you seen it? Yeah.
No, it looked really good though. I've been wanting to watch it.
Oh, yes. So definitely watch that movie, and it'll give you a whole new perspective on how you should behave on the road.
Yeah, I will do so. All right, let's jump into something else here. So, do we want to do national days, or Debo does math?
Let's do some math. We do have some national days, but I want to hear this math thing because
Okay.
I'm always fascinated by your arithmetic interests.
Well, I said, this wasn't something I saw, and I'm like, oh, I wonder. I saw someone put this online, and I'm like, that can't be right. So, like I said, I had Chat GPT help me out with some of this, but the math was, if you fold a piece of paper 42 times, how tall does it get? And I was like, I don't know. So anyway, so it's impossible to do. I think you can only actually physically fold a piece of paper like 7 or 8 times total before it's just, you just can't do it anymore. But mathematically, if you could fold it 42 times, how tall do you think it would be? Don't Google it.
I'm not, but I'm resisting the urge to go across my office and get a sheet of paper.
I think it would be double its original width.
Well, I mean, fold it once, it would be double. Fold it twice, it'd be quadruple. Yeah, like so on and so forth.
Oh yeah, because
I wasn't thinking about that.
It would be 2 to the 42nd, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Oh,
yeah. So don't do the math. Don't pull out your calculator. How tall do you think 2 to the 42nd power is?
With a piece of paper.
With a piece of paper. Just take it.
Like a standard 8.5 by 11 piece of paper.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't even matter the size. It's just the width of the piece of paper.
I guess it doesn't really matter, does it?
No.
That was the first dumb statement here that I just made.
Know what the term is for a number that large.
Yeah, like, do you think it would be like Mount Everest is 5.5 miles high? Do you think it would be taller than that or shorter than that? Do you think it'd be taller than a mountain? Or do you think it'd be shorter than a mountain?
It's shorter.
Okay. Do you think it would reach the International Space Station, which is 248 miles above the surface of the planet? Do you think it'd make it up that far?
If I said no to the mountain, I'm going to say no to the space station.
Okay. Well, I'm just giving you some more numbers, see if you change your mind.
Yeah. You're leading the witness here. I don't like it.
So it does go higher than Mount Everest. It also goes past the space station.
No.
Oh, yeah. It goes higher than 248 miles. In fact, it goes further than the moon, which is at 238,000 miles away. The total length of a piece of paper folded 42 times would reach 273,785 miles. It would go past the moon. That's what I saw online, and I'm like, there's no way. So I employed ChatGPT to help me out, and that is actually correct. That is how tall it gets. It's those last several folds that just grow exponentially.
Right.
It was just crazy to me that you could that a piece of paper.
I mean, this is all theoretical, of course, but
I mean, it's math. And it's math.
I mean, I think you need a big piece of paper to be able to even start folding it.
Well, I mean, theoretical in a sense of no one's going to be able to do it, but yes, mathematically it works out that it is quite large.
Huh.
Yeah. You should just, Breeze, you could type in ChatGPT, L equals 2 to the 42nd power. That's a lot of layers of paper. That is actually 4,398,000,000,000 and so forth layers of pieces of paper.
I was going to guess earlier it's probably somewhere in the trillions.
Yeah, as far as
I only thought that because, I mean, being a programmer, working with binary, but I mean, we don't go nearly to those. Well, sometimes, I guess, when it comes to space and storage, but.
All right. Yeah. Well, let's move on from that then. Breeze, what do you got? You got anything else going on? Let's see. You got yes. Do your national days. Let's do national days.
Okay.
Are we hitting
national days? All right.
What's that?
Are we hitting the quicksand, Debo?
No.
Okay.
No.
Sure.
We have Tuesday, May 12th. Oh my gosh. It's been a day. All right. Tuesday, May 20th is World Bee Day, as in the insect.
Oh, not the letter.
Not the letter. Right. Not the letter. I have one interesting story here. Had a little panic the other day. Was using the half bathroom in my house, and in the process of using the bathroom, you hear the buzz.
Oh no! Oh no!
And it's a small half bath, and I'm like, oh my god!
Was it like a singular?
No.
A singular bee.
Fortunately, a singular bee.
Okay.
It was in between the Venetian blinds and the window.
Oh.
But that is not a sound you want to hear mid-transaction. Let me tell you what.
Oh, no.
It just was not okay.
Yeah, you don't want to go full panic bee mode while you're taking a leak.
Just hey. Everything was very, okay, move slowly. Don't really, once I got my pants up, I was good. I was like, all right, I'm fine now.
We'll call that one B versus P.
Oh, B versus...
Boom. Stupid. All right.
I like that. Anyway, Wednesday, May 21st. I got one for Steve. This is a special national day for Steve.
Oh, Steve, you were thinking he was parking on the pot, having a seat.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And I was like,
oh, no.
In that moment, you kind of want to just enjoy it, right? So a bee comes along and then it just takes you out of the moment. So I think.
Yeah, it did. It definitely took me out of the moment, put me in a very different moment. So Wednesday, May 21st is National Steve Day. No, I'm kidding. It's actually National Talk Like Yoda Day.
Oh, dear. Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, you know what you've just done.
I actually was a little worried about that. I'm like, uh-oh, what am I going to unleash on the show if I tell them? But yes, so Talk Like Yoda Day is on this coming Wednesday. So that's fun.
Well, to celebrate that, since it's not quite Wednesday yet, but I think Steve should have to talk like Yoda for the next 2 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Did you say? Well, I thought they will. Turn into the goblin, it shall.
I meant 30 seconds.
Thursday, May 22nd is World Goth Day, as in the subculture.
Were you a goth kid?
Was I a goth kid? No, the most goth I went to or I got was there's kind of a goth club, or there was in Greater Cleveland when I was in college.
They had a club for goth people?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's just weird.
It was called The Chamber. And yeah, we definitely went there when we were bored in college. We'd go out and be like, you know what? Let's go to the goth club. And we would just get gothed out. We would just borrow stuff from people in the dorm, and you just get as goth as you could. It was so fun.
Would you put like black guy liner on?
Oh, absolutely.
That's great, dude.
I was a theater guy in high school. So
me too.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah. So much fun. So I kind of missed that.
Did they pick up on it? Did they pick up on the fact you guys were just imposters?
Not really, because we were nerds anyway. So it really wasn't a huge leap. We just changed how we looked.
Oh no, man. I think as a goth person, you probably look over and like these nerds are dressed like goth. Like you look like nerds.
But so did they. Like
did they?
All the rest of the yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Absolutely. All right. Thursday, May 22nd. We have a lot of national days this week. We have National Solitaire Day.
The game? Like the card game?
The game. Yeah. One of my favorites at least on the PC version.
You know what I never understood about solitaire is it's spelled the same. I believe it's spelled the same. Whether you are playing the game or if you're referring to confinement, but you say it differently. You know what I'm saying?
Is it spelled the same? I thought solitary was with a Y at the end, but you may be right.
That's what I thought too.
I thought solitary was with an E. Look at that.
Oh?
Maybe let's see. I'm gonna look up card game.
Solitary confinement.
Card game. Solitaire. Yes, solid. SOLITAIRE. That's okay. And then I'm gonna look up. Let's see. Solitaire.
I'm seeing solitary confinement with a Y.
Yes.
Oh, it is a Y. Okay. Wow. Look at that. I suppose I probably should have looked at that before I made that comment.
It was possible, though. And now it has been recorded. It will go on to live in infamy. And now nobody will make fun of me because I don't know when Shawshank Redemption was filmed. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. We'll revisit that when we.
Wait, which day was that, Breeze? The Yoda day?
That was Wednesday.
This coming Wednesday?
Yes.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Next week.
No, this week coming up.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll have to put it on my calendar and see if I can actually, talk like Yoda the entire day. I'm sure my coworkers would love that.
I'm sure they will.
I think so too. I really do. I think that'd be amazing.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you have band practice that day, so we're not playing video games with you. Oh, dude, you should sing like you should do everything in band practice in Yoda voice.
I totally will.
Playing like a Green Day song.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
When I come
Here
around.
we go.
All right. What's another national day?
All right. Friday, capping off the week, we have, brace yourselves, National Drinking with a Chicken Day.
What does that even mean? What does that mean?
It means what it says.
You
pour yourself a drink, and you go out and hang out with your presumably domesticated chicken, and that's what you do.
Why and how is this even a day?
This is why we started this segment on the show, because there is no end of this stuff.
Drink with
a Chicken Day.
Yeah, what were you saying, Steve?
Don't you kind of owe some chickens a drink?
Maybe.
Based on
that story's never been told on the show. Never will.
Really? Never has.
No.
I'm impressed.
I'm gonna let that go.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. We can now move on. Those are the national days. We have, I think, one for almost every day this week. So definitely a full week coming up here. Celebrate your national days. Drink with your chickens. Yeah, have some fun.
Drink with your chickens. My God. I would have to assume
Is
that
there a choke your chickens day?
Moving
on.
There we go. Thank you.
So anyway, yeah, I was going to say, I'd assume that was made by farmers, I guess. But I didn't think farmers go out and drink with their chickens.
So my sibling in law has chickens in just outside of New York City. Like they have 2 chickens,
Mhm.
or they had chickens. They don't now, but they used to. So there's a few people. Actually, there's a house that's 2 houses away from me that keeps a couple of chickens and a duck. It's really kind of funny when they start getting going because they get very chatty.
They do.
It's very weird because I am in a very residential area. To hear these chickens go kind of crazy is a bit weird.
Yeah, we want ducks so bad out here, but anytime we've ever had ducks in the past, you just wake up one morning and find pieces of duck everywhere, like something just eats them.
Well, it's the circle of life. Yeah,
I
that's
guess,
gonna
but
happen.
like we just feel bad. 'Cause it's like just a death sentence for ducks, so we don't even get them anymore.
You say you want it, but if you have a body of water like a pool or a pond nearby, like you'll find that at 3 a.m, they will just be quacking nonstop for hours on end.
Oh, it's the pond's like 100 yards away. It's far enough away.
From your house.
Yeah, plus he's got a lot of things to dampen the noise where he lives, whereas we just have houses
I was
that.
thinking pool. Yeah.
Oh.
Hang on the pool too.
Oh, if they end up in the pool, they would not be in the pool ever again. Leaving duck turds in the pool. Anyway, all right, let's jump into Breeze. We have the Gen Alpha lecture, which was awesome, by the way. I did watch that. And we also have, after that, we have one-hit wonders for actors.
Oh, you saw the one I edited.
Nice. I did. I like that one. Yeah, I looked up some. I'm like, oh, this is good. So yeah, let's jump into this Gen Alpha lecture. This is like Gen Alpha / Gen Z.
Yeah, play some of that stuff though.
Yeah, I gotta find it. I need to fast forward to the good stuff. So, Steve, have you encountered any of the Gen Z segments we've done on the show yet? I'm not sure if those hit in season 1.
I have not, and I haven't looked at this article or whatever it is either. So I'm going to be delightfully surprised, and my reactions will be authentic.
All right, so I'm going to play some of this. I said this was a Bree set it up though as far as what this guy was doing.
So this guy basically came into a lecturer speech and is a very intelligent human being, and he decided to deliver the entire speech entirely in Gen Alpha slang. I think that pretty much sums it up. Okay. I don't know if I can do it any more justice than playing it.
Yeah, it's a longer kind of video.
Long,
yeah, I just want to find. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, obviously, but I'm just gonna get into some of the slang talk here. So let me pull this up here.
For language is weak, but chat. Let's log in. Rotate prepare. Now I know it's giving to Lulu for this chuggy boober to speak in such skibbity brain rot, but if you'll bear with me, I'll put the fries in the bag in just a second. I do actually have a message here. Type shit. As I was saying, no cap, I was dead ass pressed about understanding this language. But I had to absorb the drip so I wouldn't get aired by your generation. High key, people think Gen Alpha slang is just memes and brain rot. But on God, it's giving linguistic glow-up core happening IRL. Every time you drop a gyat or it's giving, you're legit patching the English language DLC with fresh updates, literally shifting the English meta. Language evolves because
all right, there we go.
you got some of my favorite parts in there. The skibbity reference, like it was just, but he goes on for a while. That was I found that was pretty funny.
You know what? That makes me think of is that show. Well, actually, 2 shows, but The Expanse and 100, both excellent shows, by the way, highly recommended. But you know how the language English kind of evolved for like the more tribal groups, like The Expanse, it was the Belters, and in 100 it was the tribes that lived over on Earth. But anyway, it evolved into that kind of like weird slang, where it sounds like gibberish, but it actually makes sense if you slow it down, I guess. Anyway, that's what made me think of.
Yeah, you say you were watching the 100 per my recommendation, actually, and
I am, and thank you so much. I absolutely love that series. I'm probably gonna go back and watch it again. Actually,
it was so good. We tapped out after like season 4, I think it was something like that, but it was so good, dude. The premise of the show was just such a fantastic idea. I guess if you're listening and you're not familiar with what the 100 was, it was based in the future after like a nuclear war on Earth, and human beings had retreated to these space stations above Earth, And it was like a couple hundred years or something had gone by. 97. Okay. Yeah, you probably know because I haven't watched it in a while. So almost 100 years had gone by. So everybody that lived on the space station that was ever on Earth is already like dead and gone. So everybody on the space station, nobody has been on Earth. And they were running out of resources, and they had to figure out if but they were keeping it a secret, but they had to figure out if Earth was habitable yet. And they were supposed to go like 200 years or something like that. And I don't know if you can hear those birds in the background.
I can. Are they in your air conditioner?
They're in the air conditioner again. Carrie's like, don't kill him. I'm like, I want to so bad. I wouldn't kill him. I wouldn't kill him.
Feed him to your dogs. Your dogs are hungry.
But the name of the show, The 100, what they decided on the space station was they were going to send down 100 prisoners as like guinea pigs to go basically test the waters and see if you could survive on Earth. And that's the show. And it's such a fantastic show. Really good.
It is. I could go on and on about it, but I won't in the interest of time, but highly recommended.
Yeah. So I had put together, I don't know if I want to do this or not. I kind of put myself on the spot here. I did it like the Gen Alpha speech thing kind of inspired me. I was like, what if I'm thinking like fast forward, and this generation of like Gen Zs and Gen Alphas in the next 20, 30 years, they're in positions of and this language that they've created hasn't faded away yet. Like they've just created like the new way to talk. I think as like every generation does, like we still use terms from when we were younger. Older generations will still say, terms from their, teenage years. So hypothetically, if someone in this generation is going to be president someday.
Oh, and what that dialogue is gonna look like?
Yeah. I was like, what's it gonna sound like? But I thought it'd be funny to do like in like Obama voice.
Go for it.
But I don't know if I want to do it.
Okay, well, you don't have to, man. It's your show.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, maybe here's what I'll do. No, I don't want to. Maybe I'll just do it live. You just want me to go for it?
You can, or we can save it for next week.
I could do it post and just slip it in right here.
There you go. Go for that.
Maybe that's what I'll do. Because then I could put a bed underneath. I could do a nice like presidential music bed under it and stuff.
Close out the show with it. I love it.
With all that said, here it is. Hello, fam. Let's keep it 100. Life's been wild lately, but even with all the chaos, we're still here, still grinding and still vibing. No cap, the glow up of this country depends on all of us pushing up, not just one person calling the shots. Let's stay woke, stay locked in, and keep pushing the vibe forward. Don't be a Chad always flexing. As your prez, I'm not here to gaslight or gatekeep. I'm here to link and build. Everyone deserves a shot, no matter their zip code or drip level. Yeah, the grind's tough, but we've got main character energy. We're finna rewrite the script, one move at a time. Let's make this country lit. Big love. Oh, here comes Michelle. Gyat. I'm finna go clap them cheeks. Booyah. Okay, so yeah, we just heard that. Hopefully it's funny. You guys didn't get to hear it. Anyway, let's jump into Steve, you put this on here, and I thought this sounded like be pretty fun. It was the one-hit wonder actors.
Yes.
There's people always talk about one-hit wonders as far as like musicians go.
Oh yeah.
But who were the one-hit wonder actors? Did you guys look up any? Do you have any in mind? Because
I just had some in mind. I didn't even have to look them up. I was just thinking about certain ones that just kind of like struck my fancy over the term. Speaking of old terms, struck my fancy.
I'll just jump in with one because it's the first thing that came to mind, and I'm sure it's on a lot of lists. But Macaulay Culkin is, to me, top of the one-hit wonder list.
He was my second one on the list.
Okay. All right.
Oh, you actually wrote some down. I just had some on the top of my head.
I did. Yeah, I wrote down like 8 of them.
Oh, wow.
Well, okay. So, go ahead, Steve.
Well, the first one that came to mind for me, speaking of Back to the Future, was Thomas Wilson, guy that played Biff.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty much it
He was
too.
such a good actor too. I mean, he did a brilliant job in those movies, and I'm like, why haven't I seen this guy in anything else?
Did he just did he bow out of acting, or
I think he just stopped. Yeah, I think he didn't like the attention.
Okay. Does that constitute a one-hit wonder though?
Well, I mean, it was the only role he ever. What I mean by one-hit wonder is like it's the only role he ever played. It's the only role that he's like notable for.
Okay,
You know what
so
I mean?
yeah, the one he's notable for. So a couple of the ones I have on here have done other roles, but really like didn't matter. Like a band that comes out with an album and they're only known for one song.
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, bands will do more than just one song, obviously, but they're known for just this one title or this one album. That's what I mean. So
Yeah, like the girl in Jurassic Park, the young girl, Lexi or whatever her name is.
yeah.
Yeah, she only ever did that movie. So I did not include her on this list. I'm gonna
Oh, okay. So if they truly only, I get it.
yeah. And I am definitely really debating about those birds right now.
Well, I don't actually know if Thomas Wilson did anything else. That's the only thing that I remember.
He did do some other things, but I don't think they were
Yeah.
major. I think they were all.
Same as Crispin Glover. You know, I mean, he did some other stuff too, but he also is most known for.
Yeah,
He did one with rats or something like that.
Willard.
Yeah,
I was just gonna
Willard,
say,
yeah.
Willard.
Yeah.
He's a
I never saw it.
He's an
but-
odd bird though.
He is. Well, that's why he wasn't invited back for Back to the Future, because he was such an odd bird and demanded such a high salary after one movie. And they're like, no, we don't need you.
Yeah, one of the ones on my list here was Ralph Macchio.
Yes.
Karate Kid.
Very,
Yeah.
very good point.
Yeah, like he did like My Cousin Vinny, which was a really good
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
But he didn't really star in that movie. He was in it, but he wasn't like the
Forgot
main
about
lead.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, that was all about Joe Pesci. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, he was pretty much one and done, known as the Karate Kid, and still doing the Karate Kid stuff,
Still is. Like, yeah, absolutely.
which is great. Have you either of you watched Cobra Kai?
I have watched some of the first season. I did not get back into it. I think it was on YouTube Red when that came out. It was like almost a pseudo launch title of YouTube Red.
It was.
And then I did the trial of that to watch Cobra Kai.
It was good.
And then I've heard that, and obviously it's been renewed a couple times. I definitely want to get back into it. It's on my backlog for sure.
Yeah, it's on Netflix now.
Yeah, exactly. I loved it growing up as a kid. It was one of my favorite movies. Actually, favorite trilogy. I loved all three of those movies.
Oh, here's one.
I was also thinking of Carrie Elwes.
Carrie Elwes.
Elwes, yeah,
Carrie Elwes.
from Princess
Yeah.
Bride.
Yep,
I would
exactly.
say no, because he has Princess Bride and he also has Robin Hood Men in Tights. I'll give him
He
two hit
does, and
wonder.
he also has Saw as well. But
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I feel like his Princess Bride role is the most prominent. You know, I mean, I'm not being totally literal here. I'm just saying that like when I say like one hit wonder, I mean like a hit wonder, right?
Oh yeah. No, I
Right.
know. I wasn't intending to be pedantic on that one. I just was like, there. I'll give him two movies. That's my top out. But I still would qualify that. Yeah, you had your Spike and that's it.
Another one on my list here is Paul Hogan.
Crocodile Dundee.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, I was
What
like, why
else
does
has
that
he
seem so
done?
Familiar.
What else has he done?
That's it.
Yeah. I love the Crocodile Dundee movies, the first and second one. Third one I could definitely never watch again. But yeah, the first two were great, dude. Like I still watch those every so often. I just throw them on.
is he the? No, that's a knife.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is
Yep.
that guy? Okay.
Yeah, that first movie was goofy. You know
They're pretty- yeah.
the goofiest part of that movie, and I think when they wrote the script for the first Crocodile Dundee movie, like it had slightly different intentions, I think, in the beginning versus like what kind of happened while filming. Like I think his character kind of developed like during the movie, and I feel like, I swear to God, like I feel like they changed Crocodile Dundee's kind of character as they were filming, because in the very beginning they were taking that reporter girl like out into the bush, and there was a big like Cape buffalo like in the middle of the road, and he gets out of the car, and do you remember the scene where he's like he has like his pinky and his thumb out on his hand, he's making this like weird noise, his eyeball, and he's raw dogging this Cape
There it is.
buffalo. He's like making weird noises, and the Cape buffalo just lays down like he's got like some weird like mind control over animals. I think they wanted the movie to be more like that in the beginning, and they realized that like this was a very charismatic character, and they just changed it. That's my opinion. Anyway,
I've never seen the movie, so
That would be
No,
kind
got
of
me
curious. That I mean, that's true of a lot of other movies where they kind of shift directions as they see the characters evolve. Usually, you see that more in series where they have the iterations, and they're like, okay, this character is basically going to be like a 1 episode or 2 episode character, but then they continue them on.
oh, I've
You know,
heard
and they-
many stories about that where they're like, oh, like he was written off in the 3rd episode to die, but they're
Yeah.
like screen testing. They're
can't
like
get rid of him.
people really like him. Yeah, I got a couple more on my list. Do you have another one, Steve?
Yep, Mark Hamill.
Oh, he was on my list.
It's interesting when you say that because
sorry.
he's such. I mean, I guess that's true of all of them, right? I mean, that's the wonder part, right? They're all well known. Like, you know who Macaulay Culkin is, you know who Paul Hogan is, but yeah, he's kind of forever Luke Skywalker.
Well, she resented for a long time, but I think now he's actually pretty down with it.
He's one thing I really always what I always respect the hell out of Mark Hamill for is his voice acting,
Mhm.
right? He is the Joker. He's the animated Joker. He's the best one in the business. That's always really impressive to me.
I didn't know that
Okay.
about him.
Live acting.
Yeah, until like 5 or 6 years ago, I didn't know he was such a big voice actor.
Oh, huge. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. You look into it and you're like, wow, that became his career, which is really cool.
What about Hayden Christensen?
There's a Star Wars one-hit wonder.
I don't even
Although I
think.
don't think so much
No,
of a hit,
that
'cause
was
he
not.
kinda,
Yeah, that was not his one hit though. That was a stinker.
well, what else?
Oh,
What
boy.
else was he known for?
Now we got to have a whole podcast about this, but I loved the sequels or in the prequels.
Yeah,
Not sequels to prequels.
yeah. We could have a whole discussion. I'm not even going to start it. Oh, who did that?
That was me.
Oh, praise it. Yeah, no. Hayden Christensen was in a movie called Jumper, I think it was, and I'm not even sure if that was his one hit wonder, but I don't feel like the Star Wars movie was his wonder because I could not stand him in that movie. I couldn't stand his character at all. Anyway,
It isn't fair.
yeah,
That's the only part I didn't really like, but I like the movies overall though. They're great. The podcast scene. Oh yeah, I'm not podcast. There we go. The pod race
Mhm.
scene.
No
probably one of the
arguments.
greatest in cinematic history.
No arguments.
I got one more on my list.
All right.
Rachel Leigh Cook.
That sounds
Oh, I could picture her. What was she in?
She's all that with
That's it.
Freddie
familiar.
Prinze.
Oh,
That's
oh
it.
yeah.
Yeah, she didn't. She was in several movies after that, but that was pretty much her claim to fame, I think.
Hmm.
Yes. There you go.
There we go.
We have anything else on that? Breeze? Breeze,
No.
are you still with us? Okay.
I'm here.
I thought you left.
No. No, in like 1 minute though.
All right. Well, you have a hard out, don't you? Do you gotta leave right now, Breeze?
I do.
Well, I guess that's it. I guess we'll wrap the show up.
You guys can wrap up without me if you want.
Oh, we kind of we hit everything on here I was gonna hit today. And
Hey, there we go.
yeah, I'll save
Yeah.
these other two for the next show.
All right. Can't wait to listen to the
I can't
show.
wait for next Wednesday. Next Wednesday is gonna be fun.
Yoda
Oh,
Day.
yeah, it is.
Yoda Day. All right, guys. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for checking us out, everybody, and we'll see you next Monday.